Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 132, Calculus with Applications, Section 15.1, Problem 18. This is Section 15.1, it's problem number 18. We want to find the integral for 3x to the 4.2 power minus 5x to the 1.6 power plus 2. So what makes this one kind of an odd problem is these decimal exponents. You don't really do anything else with it that you wouldn't do with whole numbers. So the first piece, 3x to the 4.2 power, the 3 in the front will become the numerator of a fraction, and you're going to have the old exponent of 4.2 plus 1. And then you'll have x to the old exponent of 4.2 plus 1. And I'll simplify that a little bit in the next step. The middle piece, minus 5x to the 1.6. You'll have minus the 5 in front becomes the numerator of a fraction, the old exponent of 1.6 plus 1, x to the old exponent of 1.6 plus 1. Now the 2 on the end, you can assume that's coming from a 2x to the 0, just so it fits the same format. So the 2 that's in front becomes the numerator of the fraction. You have the old exponent of 0 plus 1, then x to the 0 plus 1, and then plus a constant. And that's the answer. We can clean it up, though, for sure. So 3 over 4.2 plus 1, x to the 4.2 plus 1. Let's make that 3 over 5.2, x to the 5.2. Then the next piece, minus 5 over 1.6 plus 1, x to the 1.6 plus 1. Let's make that 5 over 2.6, x to the 2.6. And then 2 over 0 plus 1, x to the 0 plus 1. That's 2 over 1, x to the 1, or just 2x. Don't forget the constant on the end. These can be just turned into decimals, but they do get a little messy. If you do it on the calculator, you could do 3 divided by 5.2 equals. But it goes all the way to the end of the screen. You're probably just as well off in this particular problem to leave it like this. The same thing with the 5 over 2.6. And you can check it. This one checks out easy enough. If you want to take the derivative, you'll get back to the original question. So the first piece, 3 over 5.2x to the 5.2, if you do the derivative, the exponent of 5.2 comes down times 3 over 5.2. The 5.2's cancel, giving you a 3 in front, x to 1 less power, the 4.2. The 5.2 would drop to a 4.2. Then minus, you have 5 over 2.6, x to the 2.6. Take the derivative of that. The 2.6 comes down times the number in front, which is 5 over 2.6. The 2.6's would cancel, leaving you with the 5 in front. That's negative. X to 1 less power, that 2.6 would drop down to a 1.6. The derivative of 2x would just be the number in front, which is just 2. The constant, or number with no variable, its derivative would be 0. So it does work.